This is something I've actually already reported, but at this point, a lot of people are asking me about it. So I figured we can take a look at this really quick about basically someone who is hijacking the solo shuffle queues. Why did this get deleted? This post has been removed from the moderators. Okay, so this is a post from 13 hours ago that says this clown is constantly leaving games before they even start at 2750 MMR. So basically, what's going on is they've figured out a way. You can see this guy's win-loss here. Ming Farmy. He's figured out a way to keep his MMR and not get the deserter debuff. So he's 0 rated right now, but he's still playing around 2600 MMR. And when you're 2600 MMR as a healer, you actually can queue into DPS that are like 2800. So we're talking pretty much the top of the ladder this guy can consistently queue into and then just leave the game. So not only are people having to sit like an hour-long queue, but he's not getting the debuff, which is supposed to be stacking, right? Like if you leave a game, you're supposed to get a stacking debuff that makes it more and more difficult over time. He whispered me in the lobby right before. You can log out and relog to leave lobbies and avoid the deserter debuff. People are using this too much. This to match win traders partners, spreading awareness to get this fixed. So he's like, yeah, there's a post here. There's a big forum post here we can look at as well. So this guy named Rebirth Story, he says, since Mingfar probably can't explain it clearly in English, I'll try to explain it here. Before everything, I'm not involved in what he's trying to do and haven't heard of it before queuing into him yesterday night on my ult, but I will say I fully support what he's trying to do and I respect him a lot for doing this. So I think this guy is trying to be like Batman and just bring awareness to an issue, because apparently what he's doing in NA is being super abused in China, allegedly. That's what I heard. So let's read this. So basically, since one fixed during Forge season, if you return to character selection before shuffle starts, you won't get deserter. We'll lose 150 points, but you will not lose MMR. Blizzard implemented a fix since the beginning of Dragonflight to fix this. You don't lose MMR if you leave a shuffle issue, but for unknown reasons, the fix got nullified sometime during Dragonflight 2. Returning to character selection, not giving you deserter debuff is never fixed. This is something I've actually unintentionally done. I've done it literally on stream, where like I had 2 queues pop at the same time. I accepted one. I accepted them both by accident. I forget what happened. I accepted one and then like my other queue popped, so I logged out on the first guy before it actually started the game. But the game did start. I just didn't get a debuff. And actually I didn't even lose rating. I think I think there's a way to do it where you don't even lose rating. It's kind of hard to do and you have to be like, it has to sit on 5 out of 6 for a while, but yeah. Anyways, let's keep going. Starting from the middle of Forge season, the win traders and boosters have been abusing this bug in the China server so they can fully control the solo shuffle ladder. For 99% of the casual players, it's extremely hard to push or even queue shuffle. You will only get games potentially during prime time, but anything except from 9 p.m. to 12 p.m., you basically won't be able to get a single shuffle queue without win traders leaving it. Oh my God, man, it's so sad. The reason they do this is to make sure no one can climb and shuffle without paying them. In fact, their purposes are extremely clear. Most of their characters are literally named, if you want rating, pay us. Whoever we want him to win will win. Unfortunately, Chinese servers' PvP audience are completely ignored, and all calls for bug fixing or banning win traders are just gone with the wind. I can very confidently say that these behaviors influence thousands of players, and I can provide hundreds of screenshots of such behaviors if any Blizzard people want to see it. The reason why Mingfar starts doing it today, after me confirming with a friend, is that Chinese players are so desperate that their only hope is doing it on the NA servers, so they might possibly get the issue fixed, which is kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like, he's basically terrorizing the entire NA ladder, but he's doing it because this is happening even worse in China, and they can't even play the game because it's so bad. I personally do not like Mingfar, since from what I've heard, he's working with win traders in the past, but in this case, he's doing might help more players than he's influenced. And a few other questions. Why don't you just report it or share it with streamers? I've been sharing these infos on multiple Blizzard employees, sending multiple reports on streamers the last few months. Nothing has changed. You spent 7 straight hours holding queues hostage for people waiting an hour at a time and sending them back into the queue. Yes, but on the other hand, the win traders in the Chinese server have been holding thousands of players hostage for the last 7 months in a desperate attempt because no other solutions are possible for the players in the Chinese servers. Mingfar, you're the only person I've encountered doing this. As explained above, maybe it's the case in NA, but definitely not the case in the Chinese servers. Again, thousands of players have been held hostage for almost a year now. Okay, that's it. I'm willing to provide evidence of anything I've said is true to any Blizzard employees, and I can provide hundreds or even thousands of screenshots of the bug abusing behaviors happening in the Chinese servers. They're desperate. Please, Blizzard, do something. Insane, man. So there's actually 2 posts. Let's see this one. All right, so let's see. With a week left in the season, 2,700 lobbies are being held hostage by certain players. People are queuing as a healer, joining lobbies, and then abandoning the lobby right before the round starts. While these people do lose 150 of their MMR, which they do lose 150 rating, their MMR stays the same, which means you'll continue to be matched with them. You might think, isn't there an account-wide deserter that prevents this from happening? It's a good question, but the answer is no. I'm not going to outline how, but there is a method to prevent getting deserter, allowing these healers to immediately requeue and force 0-0 lobbies. Unless you're playing at peak hours, you will not get to play a single game of Solo Shuffle. Feels particularly bad as everyone is trying to achieve their end of season goal. Please fix. It's insane, man. This is showing 6 lobbies that just didn't play out at all. 0 rating change. Also in Blitz yesterday, 2,800 MMR, a Demon Hunter. We had Team Lock. Sorry. Also Blitz yesterday at 2,800 MMR, a Demon Hunter we had in team took 2 times the flag and dropped in on purpose. Also, he imprisoned his opponent, friendly healer, while he was at 20% health, so he couldn't be killed. Absolutely degenerate piece of filthy dog. All right, that's a little bit different. Maybe he was just bad. But yeah. I think the main thing is that there's some major queue issues going on, and it feels particularly bad right now because it's the end of season, right? Like a lot of people want to do their end of season pushes, and they literally aren't able to play the games. They're already dealing with these long queues, and now you have someone completely destroying the system. He quit on me 2 times yesterday. Yeah, like have any of you guys had to deal with this? Because this seems absolutely insane, dude. Solo queue is a mistake. I mean, this has nothing to do with solo queue, man. It's just, this guy's a Chad for doing this. He's a Chad for doing this. What is this screenshot? Let me look at this before I show it on my stream. He said, in Solo Shuffle players can log out before the match starts and relog to avoid deserter. They instantly requeue to try to match with win trade partner. Hope more people see this so it gets fixed. So, I mean, it seems like he's doing it. I don't condone this behavior, but it seems like he just really wants to bring awareness. And it's just pure desperation at this point. This guy seems to think he's a Giga Chad. As a daytime streamer, Shuffle is completely unplayable despite what the Discord crew says on here about it not existing. There's literally no difference in skill between 1,800, 2,100, 2,400 and a ton of these lobbies because it's nothing but 30s queue syncing. And it makes playing healer already unfun completely asinine. Let's see this one. Screenshot here. I think Foxy Llama. Foxy Llama, are you still here? Foxy Llama posted a screenshot of somebody queue dodging literally like 50 times in a row. 50 times in a row. So I think they definitely need to fix this problem where if you leave a lobby, you're not getting the deserter debuff. So that is a priority. I also think a big priority in this is they need to make it so you can't dodge queues like this, you know? I feel like you dodge 1 queue, whatever. You dodge 2 queues, that's not great. You dodge 3, it's like that's when the punishment should start happening. You know, if you're dodging queues multiple times in an hour, then you should get some sort of like, yeah, 38 queue declines. Please stop the win trading and queue manipulation. Blizzard, please help us. There's a massive win trading cheating problem on retail. We love your game and want to appreciate it for what it is without the cheaters. Yeah, the cheating and like the system abuse is it's pretty bad right now, unfortunately. I haven't even been bothering queuing on my mage. It's the last week of the season. I really want to play, but I haven't even been bothering because this stuff has been going on. I just joined, but I made a post about this. The process to avoid the debuff is cooked. The queue sync cannot be reported because they alt F4 to never join the game. Yep. Right? It's like on 4 to 5, or it's like during the loading screen. I don't know how to do it exactly. Who cares? You shouldn't do it. Don't freaking do it. But yeah, I mean, hopefully they fix this stuff because I mean, yeah. Oh, Mingfar says, oh, he's just explaining how to do it. But just out of curiosity, what does he say? He says the key issue is after clicking ready, players log out before the match starts to avoid the deserter penalty. This way, they can re-queue over and over until they match with their win trade partner. The problem isn't the canceled match. It's that they can abuse this to skip penalties and queue repeatedly. I'm not doing it to abuse, just trying to show how it's being exploited so it gets fixed. Mingfar is the only person doing it, by the way. Yeah, that could be true. I just want to point out the real issue in Soul Shuffle. After clicking ready, players can log out. Okay, he's explained it. Like, it's not secretive. It's literally right here in this forum post. So, yep. But yeah, figured we'd bring some more attention to the issue in hopes that it can be fixed before the season ends. Because if this continues for the rest of the season, I legitimately feel like it can ruin the Solo Shuffle season, which is pretty sad. There will be a rise of players doing it this week, unfortunately, because it's getting attention. Yeah, it's posted everywhere. And you might say, Venruki, why are you bringing more attention to this? Well, at this point, it needs to be fixed because there's enough people that have seen it on Reddit and on X and on the forums that I think it should just be the floodgates should open so they can fix it immediately. You know what I mean? Was it ain't going to fix it? I think they'll fix it. I feel like you can't not fix it at this point because it literally ruins the game. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what's going on. See what happens.